I'm still here in Arizona at this beautiful camp in Prescott National Forest, as you can see, with the lovely trees. And I wanted to talk about energy transference that has to do with the ability for someone to access energy and information through the touching or holding of an object that is considered to be inanimate. And it's interesting because I used to doubt this was something that could really work, but I just wasn't really sure how that would make sense or how I would be able to do it. And the interesting thing is that now that I've done some more meditation and have received a few guiding messages about this way of communicating, I'm starting to begin to understand a little bit more. Because if we know that everything is energy and that energy cannot be destroyed or created, it just is, and all it does is just transfer or change. Everything holds an energetic imprint. Energy comes from light, and light is information. So, for example, us as living beings, as humans, we are energetic beings. We run on energy, we run on electricity, and we hold an enormous amount of information that we communicate daily with others, and we receive it as well. We're always transmitting and receiving energy, and it's not always verbal. Sometimes it's visual, sometimes it's a feeling. So what I've come to understand being here is that everything has a level of energy, which means that it has absorbed light, which means it has absorbed some sort of information. So that information can be communicated and transmitted. All we have to do is be receptive to it. Because that's what sensitivity is. It's being willing to be open and receptive to the information that you are gathering or absorbing in at any given time. So, with that being said, I decided to try it because I was recently given the information that if I wanted to, I could indeed pick up a rock from nature and I could know anything I wanted. I could gather information of anything that ever was, is, or will be, because energy is actually timeless. So, without going too far deep into that philosophy and understanding and quantum theory, I'll leave it at that, but I would like to say that I decided to try it in this beautiful place. It's not super populated or bothered. I wanted to get as much of a pure energy from an object. I thought this was a beautiful piece of, I don't know if it's marble, but it's really beautiful. And I saw it near the cabin, near the door, and the pink struck me, most likely because I'm working with rose quartz a lot. The healing energy of love, right? During my meditation this morning, as I sat under the sun, connecting to the earth with my bare feet on the ground, I held this beautiful rock in my left hand. The left hand is the receiving conduit, and the right hand is the transmitter. For we are conduits of electricity, energy, light, and information. So I put this beautiful rock on my left hand to receive any messages it would like to give me. And with complete respect to all things in creation, I decided to ask the rock if it would like to share its wisdom with me, its level of consciousness, because obviously this is a different level or dimension of consciousness in relationship to mine. But all consciousness has wisdom, all consciousness has information, because all objects or things absorb light. So I asked this rock to share with me something that it would think I would find valuable, and that in equal reciprocity, one of those, I would also transmit information that may be valuable to it. This rock will be at a higher level of consciousness than it is now. And if I can help it, as it helps me, then I am in symbiotic flow with not only Earth, but the universe. So here I am receiving energy from the rock, and here I am receiving or transmitting energy into this rock. Now, because as a human, we've got so much going on, it is harder for us to be receptive and still, so I allow the rock to give me the message it wants to give me first. And I kept it open. But I was curious about how it ended up near the cabin. Why wasn't it connected to a mountain further down the hill, or, part of a rock that was unbothered? How did it make its way to the cabin? And as I sat there, breathing in and out, full relaxation, receptive, the story began to unfold with visuals. So it started off as being a part of a mountain, far, far, far away, at the top of this mountain that I can actually see from here. And this land has a lot of this type of rock in different colors, where this rock, broke off of the mountain and slowly but surely tumbled down, knocked its way down through maybe wind or an animal. It's made its way down. And mind you, this took a long time. And then it ended up falling near a stream that is actually pretty close over here at the bottom of this mountain. It didn't land in the stream, but it was very close to it. And it spent a lot of time there. Long times, maybe centuries, maybe less. Time is really difficult to completely discern, but I know it was there for so long, like more than one lifetime. Eventually, a child picked it up and played with it for a while and carried this rock with him. It was a boy. He took it further down, not too much further, but closer to dry land, and after a while forgot about it and just dropped it. And it was there for a long time. Though I feel it was just decades, not centuries or anything like that. I'm feeling decades, where eventually another young male picked it up just recently and had collected a few of them and had just ended up discarding them near the porch of this cabin very recently. Otherwise, it would probably be gone by now. And that's where that's where this rock landed. The reason why I find this so interesting is because I was like, how did a rock that does not move, does not talk, from our perception does nothing but just stand still and of course emits and transmits and receives energy, but other than that, from a human's perspective, a rock doesn't do much, right? Well, except as crystal lovers, we know different, but it doesn't have legs, right? It's not going to walk on its own. So I asked the rock, or I wondered about this, because I thought it was quite interesting. I was like, wow, that's quite a journey. And that took quite a long time. And the information that I received and that I was able to channel and articulate back to this beautiful rock was this: that even when things seem impossible, like a rock moving location, even when things seem impossible in life and there seems to be no way to accomplish something or to move on our journey, to achieve something we want to achieve, or to create something that we want to create, or to move forward in any way, there's always a way. There's always a possibility. It's just that we can't see it yet. But life itself, the energy, the universe will always find a way to make a path for anything, even something that may seem to not have a path or a journey or a destination. Basically, it's about understanding that nothing is impossible, even if it seems like it is. And if a rock, a tiny rock, could make its way miles and miles away from the top of a mountain to the doorstep of a cabin, that I can pick it up and exchange energy with, there's nothing that's impossible, because life finds a way, the universe finds a way. There's nothing that a human can't do, even if it's not from our direct action. The universe will make a way for us beyond the perception that we have. It was just really beautiful and touched my heart. And it just reminded me about that, about miracles. And that anything is possible. And it was really lovely the way we were able to exchange this kind of energy, because once light / energy / information transmits onto something or someone, that energy is absorbed, and the imprint can never be taken away, only transformed. That is the power of light. So, if light and energy is information, and information is communicated through light and energy, then that is consciousness. That's a simple way to put it, but that is what it is. And consciousness expands through more information. So as this beautiful rock transmitted its journey from the top of a mountain to the doorstep of a cabin through feeling and visual communication, I was able to articulate it verbally back to the rock to give it context. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. So yes, now I do believe in psychometry, and I believe that anybody can do it. You just have to be open and trust and know that you are a conduit of information, communication, light, and energy, and so is everything else. And we are all connected. And so it is.